Hi guys, this will be a quick little video on the culling. It's only just come out in early alpha, pre-alpha. I don't bloody know. Probably says somewhere around here. It's really good. Not usually my sort of game. It's usually I like buildery. I don't know, just like different sort of stuff. Whereas this is a classic. Well, it's not a classic. It will be a classic. I've got a feeling it's a very good game. I've got a feeling to make it into an esport. But there's a lot of skill involved. More importantly, you can play it. It's all v all. Battle royale, as they call it, and yeah, I really like it. It's all dependent on your own skill. I've got a good few wins in this, and I don't know. You feel like you're achieved when you win. You can't really say, oh, the team sucked. That's why I lost, because it's all down to you. I mean, you can get unlucky a little bit, but most of that can be mitigated with skill. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the perks in general, perks and airdrops, because that's a big impact on how you play. I mean, if you're struggling to get past the early game, then you really need to look at what perks you're taking, and then I'll talk through the builds that I use basically, because I think some of them are a bit standard. One of them's definitely a little bit different, but I'll explain that when I get to it. Now, when I say early game, I mean the first 5 minutes of the game. Typically, you're going to run into a building, try and loot it. Some other geezer turns up, you fight him with a typically crafted weapon. Maybe you've found a good one. If so, you've got a good weapon. If so, you've got the upper hand because you got to the building first. But that's the early game, the first 5 minutes. The rest is mid game up until, I don't know, about the 10-minute marker. 10 minutes left in the game, which is when the map starts to close in. From then on, I'll call it late game, because only a few times have I ever seen it go down to the marker, and the map closed down to pretty much nothing. Now, airdrops. Now, when you first start, and what I found incredibly restrictive is that you have very, very, very few airdrops unlocked. None of the good ones. Nothing with a gun or something that you can really really build around. I mean, you can, but I can't even remember what they are now, so I'm not going to talk about it. And what I did to unlock all these airdrops is use this build here, appropriately called the Scrounger. The Scrounger has low dropper, so you get the airdrop instantly. Yeah, the way you get, if you don't know, I mean, it says so in the tooltips, but I know a lot of people don't read them. The way you get these is you have to open a box that contains said airdrop, like whatever they are, medic. So you have to steal it off someone else. So someone else has called it in, and you get to it before them. You kill them, take it, whatever. If the box is already open, it don't count. So you have to be the one to open the box. You don't have to take anything out of it. Opening the box is key. Either that, or you can get them from drops in the game, the random events. The random events and or stealing it from another person is risky business. I mean, people are going to be on the watch out for you nicking their drops, and the in-game events. People run to them because they generally have some of it's like the 100 funk plus drops basically. I might have seen Climber in there. I don't know, but people run to them, so it's high risk business. So what I wanted to do, so I could get them, was I built this build, the Scrounger, to get it. Now I've got low dropper, so the drop comes in instantly, so you can just open it. That is the aim here. We're not looking to win, we're looking to get more drops so we can win. I've got leg day. I mean, you can take other perks in place of leg day, but I like the speed. Just so you can stand a chance in running away if you have to. I mean, a lot of people run leg day, if not builds that are faster than the plus 10 movement speed. So I feel it just gives you a fighting chance. I mean, I love leg day. A lot of people are the same with silent running, whatever it's called, stealthily. But leg day is the one for me. And then the crucial part of this build is money bags. The reason this is crucial is because you get plus 2 funk, but what you can do is you can turn sticks into funk. Now, usually a stick gives you 1 funk, but a stick with this, money bags, will give you 3 funk. So, you do 10 sticks, that's 30 funk, which is a lot of funk. It's how much you need quite often to finish off, getting an airdrop in. So, what you do is typically you will, you drop in, try and let your first build in, hopefully no one comes along. You'll get, on average, 50 funk, I'd say, out of that. Depending on what you find, you could get more, you could get less, you could get unlucky, get less. With money bags, it probably might even be up to about 60 funk. Chances are you're going to have to kill someone, because that's, especially to get some of the higher, the higher cost airdrops. No, not ninja, like that. Commando, yeah, you'd have to do it. You would have to kill someone for Commando. Definitely for 5.0 and Pirate. But they've got guns in, so you know you got to go get a kill. But then basically you go off to a quiet corner of the map. Usually around, I don't know, I tend to go about the 15 minutes left mark. Hack away at a tree, hack away at a tree, and then just keep turning them sticks or rocks if that's what you got into funk. Yeah, call it in. That's it. You're done basically. I mean, you will often see the end of the game, but I would say on the whole you'll be under equipped because you won't have the funk left for body armor. You might have a backpack if you're lucky. So I don't know, you're not. All you'll have is the airdrop, and if it's a naff airdrop like Gorilla, yeah, you're not going to be equipped to compete. A, because you haven't got the perks. B, because you've got a naff airdrop. Now the way when you use Surprise Me as your airdrop, and that is how you get, you know, that calls in a random one, could be any of these. I mean, I don't have them all. When you're in the game, you press escape, like to see the crafting menu. You in the bottom left hand corner, it will tell you how many what airdrop you've been given. So yeah, that's that. This is the one I like the most at the moment. This is my favourite build, the Bowman. I use long shot because I've got control of the engagement. I mean, it tends to come in more useful mid to late game because people are holding back. They've got armor, they've got decent ranged weapons, so that gives you a boost there. Thick skin, again, that is mainly for the 50% reduction in firearm damage, because the amount of times I've got to the end, someone just cracks out the older SMG and just plows you down with it. This reduces the chance of that really, well, not that happening to you, because it can still kill you in one clip, but it takes the, I don't know, it's not an instant win for him, a guaranteed win. And leg day, just because I love the 10% movement speed. The other build I'm using, and this is a fun one, is this is all round chemist. So I'll go back to Bowman. Yeah, the airdrop I have this Commando. The compound bow, excellent weapon. I mean, you got the 24 arrows with it, so the second you got that, you're kitted up for the end game. The impact grenade, you know, if you can't hit with that, you're a retard. Where it stuns them with the cripple effect, you can then get a hit on them almost guaranteed with the compound bow. 2 if you're quick. I tend to go for 1 full charged hit, and usually by then they're either running or running towards you to try and make up the ground. And yes, I don't know, that's like a guaranteed kill with an impact grenade and a compound bow. And it also has the Bowie knife, and what this allows is you to turn a tier 3 item, you know, a tier 3 weapon if you've got it, into funk. You know, I think they go for like 20 or 30 funk, and I mean that is a lot of funk on the way to the 150 you need for Commando. Now with this build, I find I have to get at least 1 or 2 kills to yoink other people's stuff to turn it into funk, and obviously there's the funk from killing them as well. So it's pretty aggressive play. But I don't know, in a one-on-one at the end, if there's only 2 of you left, 2 or 3, even if there's 4, you can really hold your own at range, and then use the grenades to finish off that one last guy. I mean, even if he's got an SMG, I don't know. That's it. You never really want to close with this build. You can get close enough, but not. I'm not saying you're not like outside 40 meters, because I mean that's a long way. But you can once he comes within the 40 meters, whack him with the impact grenade. I know it's a good one. And the last one, this is a fun build, but it's real hard. Is the medic build. Now I got this off someone. The reason it's called medic is because it's built around this airdrop here. You get a backpack. The backpack is actually useful for turning into armor. That's what I use it for most of the time. The med kit fully restores your health. You keep that on you. The bandage for repairing you after the fight you've just been in. And then orange juice is all about the orange juice, because with the chemist perk, 3 times longer, so you've got 6 minutes, and you can do a lot of killing in 6 minutes. I mean, when you're on orange juice, you are pretty much unstoppable. I say pretty much unstoppable. If someone's got a gun, they'll stop you. But it's a really strong build. I mean, that is it. It's super aggressive, and I do like playing aggressive in this game. You know, you're the hunter or the hunted, and I'd much rather be the hunter. Where am I going? Perks. Yes, you got chemist low dropper, so your drop comes in instantly. I mean, I'll call in 2 drops, maybe 3 in a game with this, just because you're killing people so often. You've got the stuff to turn into funk. You have the funk available to you to call in multiple drops. So when you call in 2 and you've got 12 minutes of being on orange juice, which is like half the game. So, and calling the airdrop guarantees you restoring to full life. Usually the bandage, and because of the backpack you get the armor. So you are like in beast mode. From the second you call in that airdrop, you're in beast mode. So yeah, I really like it. I mean, it does depend on what weapon you manage to find, but where you're killing people, you tend to pick up at least a tier 3 weapon off somebody eventually. So that is yeah, they're the 3 builds that I use. Now I'm quickly going to talk for if you're struggling with the early game. Now if you're struggling with the early game, you probably have not picked very good perks. Let's be honest, yeah. I mean, the perks from this build, all I would call late game perks, apart from leg day, because that applies all the way through the game. Medic. Okay, this I don't know. It's a good build. If you can get the kills, you know. I mean, if you're not, I mean, I love the melee combat, and this I'll talk on that at the end. But that's why I like this one. And then the Scrounger. This is yeah, this is a cheese build just for getting the airdrops. So, but drops like there's a where is it? A utility. A drop you want to take if you're struggling just to get used to the game and get you out of the first couple of stages. You want to take armorer. That's it basically. I mean, it is what it is. It'll really help you through a first engagement. Man tracker will help you avoid it, but you want to be getting practice in the fighting, so you wanted to take that. Stealthy's a good one, but once you've engaged in a fight, they can still beat you. Yeah, so I don't know. I'd recommend armorer if you're really struggling in the beginning. There is another one, Tough Mother. Again, another damage reduction. I think reducing your damage is better than trying to increase your damage output, because there's not a lot of multiple stabs. Once you get good at the combat, it's like one poke, you know, you have to block or push, poke again. So that is why certain weapons, like the katana, or just high stuff that is high damage over high speed actually tends to be better, because one whack from, I don't know, that's what I find. Like the tonfa is a crap weapon. It's low damage, high speed. Same as a lot of the little knives. You want the, what do you call it, the cleaver. The cleaver is an excellent, I mean, it says tier 2, but in my mind the cleaver is well above a tier 2 weapon, just because of the damage it deals and the bleed wound it applies. A weapon to fear. Yeah, and there you go, big boned. Again, that's more health. So yeah, if I was going for a build to help you out with the early game, nope. I would go with something like this. Ta-da! Now that is not very good in the late game. People are gonna have really good weapons. That little bit of damage reduction isn't really gonna count. Armorer. Once that armor's used up, that's used up. I mean, I would never take that, but it will help you get through that first engagement so much. And if that's what you're struggling to get past that first engagement, then obviously you're not going to see the rest of the game. So once you've got more practice, you can drop that, sub in other perks. I mean, all these builds took me a while to play. I mean, while to figure out. Yeah. So that is that. So for the next video, if you're still listening, I will actually probably be going through the melee combat in this game, because I love it. And the reason I like it is because I've done martial arts for, you know, the bulk of my life, and I find it quite not easy, but I find it quite intuitive to read how people are working, to gauge the range, how good your opponent is, which affects how you fight big time. And yeah, I don't know. I find that gives me an upper hand in the melee combat. I like to feel that I've never sucked balls at it. I was definitely worse at the beginning than I am now, and there are definitely people who are better than me. But I've got not a unique perspective, but the same way a trained marine is probably better at, like, you know, a typical first-person shooter. I like to think I've got a little bit of an advantage in this, and this is why I play this build. Much my favourite, the bowman, because the barrel knife is all I need in close combat. This guarantees it at range, because I don't know, if it comes to the close and all you've got is a backpack full of close combat weapons, then you're going to lose to anyone who's got anything ranged. So yeah, so that'll probably be in the next video, once I've got some decent footage of me not sucking balls basically. So yeah, I hope you found this helpful. See you later.